Hey guys, welcome back to Let It Rip. This week we're going to be talking about our matches from the weekend. We went 1-1. Dreamer, our new main tank signing, made his debut matches. We're also going to talk about my Junkrat performance, got to bring back a classic, and then we'll dive into the new information about Overwatch 2. All right, everyone. Well, welcome back to episode 4. We're really getting into it here on Let It Rip, so I hope you guys are enjoying the content. Make sure to let us know down in the comments what you want to see more. Give us feedback. We really appreciate that. This week, talking about our matches from the weekend. Against Rain, it was a pretty tough match. They played really well. I think we played well too, but in the end, I think our strategy was just off. You know, the first match of hero pools, it happens a lot, but I think the Rain just had a better read of the meta. And then, you know, coming in against the Mayhem in our next match, we changed a lot of things. We only had one day to prepare, but still just, you know, playing the double shield comps a lot, you know, playing the Mercy focus style a lot. We feel like that was just the strongest all along. Once we caught up to the meta, then we felt really great and just outplayed Mayhem with those comps. But I think once we get our hands on the meta, get a handle on it rather, then I think we could play really well. It should be a real strong suit for us. I think we have like a ton of players on comfort heroes. Speaking of players, we want to talk a little bit about Dreamer, our newest main tank that we've signed to the roster. From the coaching perspective, we really feel like there can be a healthy balance between Dreamer and Jonggu. It's not like at all actually like we're replacing Jonggu, something like that. You know, our perspective is that there can be a healthy balance here and both can, you know, learn from each other, improve from each other. In the end, it'll be a question of like hero specialization, you know, who fits the best in a certain style or strategy that we want to play. But looking forward, I think you can expect to see both of them sharing playtime in the future. But I think Dreamer's just a really smart player, has a great handle on the game, and gives us great strategic insight, both in terms of calling in the match, but also when we're just reviewing and practicing our strategy. So we're really happy to have Dreamer here on the Outlaws. Also, in our Mayhem match, I got to play a little bit of DPS. I actually had my most maps played against the Mayhem yesterday. So I played 2 maps of mostly Mercy on Icawalda Dorado, and then I came in to play DPS on Anubis, obviously to play Junkrat. It feels great to be able to come back in and play DPS. Even if it's just one map, still makes me happy, still fun to like get out there and flex, and definitely makes me more confident for the future as far as like, you know, still being a strong player. Now it's time for our first segment, which is Eyes on the Prize, presented by Zenny Gaming. I'm going to be bringing in Dante, who won Player of the Match on Sunday for his legendary Echo performances. If you want to learn Echo, I would definitely suggest, you know, checking out his YouTube, checking out his POVs from the match, because he pulled off some pretty crazy plays. Definitely was a key part of our victory. So let's jump right into it. All right, everyone. Well, welcome to Eyes on the Prize. Shout out to Zenny Gaming for the glasses, and appreciate all the fans letting us know what you think about how we look in glasses, different styles and everything like that. Dante, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on the show.
Of course, you know me.
You know, Saturday against the Rain, things didn't go our way. Tough match. What went wrong in your mind?
Honestly, I think we just got baited by playing or scrimming bad teams, because we scrimmed bad teams and we didn't think Orisa was that good because we would still win against bad teams. But I think Orisa is just a really strong hero in this meta. When good teams play Orisa, it's a lot harder. But a lot of the good teams were playing Winston and stuff, so we didn't feel like Orisa was that good going into it. And then after the match, we realized that Orisa is just broken.
Most memorable play for you from the match? So either your play or somebody else's play. What sticks out in your mind from the matches?
It was probably one of my plays because I'm playing the OP hero.
Yeah.
I like this meta a lot because I get to play Echo, and Echo's the carry hero. Last time I was the May play, I was the enable the team hero. Yeah. But this time I get to carry. The play that stuck out to me was I killed their Ana, and then I D.Va bombed when I was in copy. And I knew the Mercy was going to try to res the Ana at some point. So when I D.Va bombed, I landed on the ledge and I remech'd on the Valking Mercy that was resing the Ana. And I don't know, it's just
the remech kills are so nasty.
It's so crazy seeing a D.Va mech kill a Valking Mercy that's resing. It just didn't feel right.
Let's talk about also our new player, Dreamer. I'm sure that's something I saw a lot of fans asking questions about. You know, Jongrat had such a great performance in the first tournament. Is he getting replaced? You know, people are like so worried about that. From the internal side, obviously, we know more about the situation. And I was saying before how it just adds like more flexibility, more possibilities to us as a team. But how did you feel like playing with Dreamer this weekend?
I like Dreamer a lot. I think he can communicate his thoughts really well and give the team more direction. And I think that can help for when people are feeling a bit lost. Because everyone has a different POV of the game and everyone notices different things. And he does a good job at communicating what we need to do differently. So I like that a lot about him. His Winston's really good. Another thing I like about him is even if a play isn't like the best for him, he'll still do it just to do it. And even if he feeds, he'll do it for the team. So that's one thing I like a lot about him.
Yeah, he's like I would definitely feel the same way. Like really good at calling and like setting up plays, especially when we're playing like a dive style where that's so important. And then like selfless, like he doesn't mind to do a sacrificial play if it's like the right play. Like he's not worried about that. All in all, it's been I would say a pretty all right start. I think it's tough to take a loss. But in the end, I think Reign is a strong team. I think they kind of underperformed last tournament relative to in scrims. We always thought they were like a pretty strong team. They played pretty well. It was a great start to the June Joust overall. I think we're obviously we love to be 2-0, but we're okay with where we are and feeling really confident about the future. So enough about that. But now what we want to get into is of course like this new huge live stream the devs put out. Overwatch 2 PvP. We'd heard a lot about the PvE experience, that was like sort of the hype about Overwatch 2, but now we really got to dig in, to the PvP aspect. Even the pro players, we had to have like a Q&A behind the scenes with the devs and get their perspective on things, talk about, what pro players think about the whole situation. So there's so much news to cover. And to discuss that news, we brought in Crimzo a little bit earlier to go over it all and to share all of our perspectives on that news. So let's roll the clip. All right, guys, welcome to our Overwatch 2 discussion segment. Thanks for joining me, Crimzo and Dante.
Pleasure being here.
Nice being able to talk about it.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty exciting. I know like there was a lot of announcements about PvE before, but now we get the meat of the PvP, which, as competitive players, obviously that's what we care the most about in the end. And obviously there's, absolutely earth-shattering huge news. Overwatch 2 is going to be 5v5, only one tank. Like, what are your guys' first impressions of 5-on-5?
Personally, I'm really excited for it. I think it'll completely change how the game feels. And with Overwatch 2, that'll be like a really good feeling. And I think it'll be really healthy for the game. It'll bring a lot of players back and bring in a lot of new players. I think the passives are really cool too, like the supports healing and stuff. And then some of the DPS having higher movement speed. I think there's a lot of new things and it'll just make it feel like a completely new game.
Yeah, I'm also like really excited for like kind of like to like revitalize Overwatch a little bit and to bring back hopefully bring back the big streamers that used to play. Overall I trust the dev team to be able to create a good game, and I trust that it will be good in the end.
And in the end, I feel like maybe this change like kind of had to happen. Like even if you think Overwatch is better with 2 tanks, it's like the reality is like if you look at the queue times and the data, like people didn't want to play tank. Like, or not that people didn't want to play tank, but percentage-wise, more people wanted to play DPS and support. And if you look at it from like the most macro perspective, I feel like the devs are just looking at the data and saying, you know what, like some people like playing tank, but it's just more popular to play DPS and support. So let's make the game enable that preference.
I think it'll be really fun to relearn the game because the game is just going to feel completely different. So that's just a really fun, even hero pools, relearning the game when a few heroes aren't in the game, it's so fun to like just explore the meta.
What do you guys think also, talking about new stuff for Overwatch 2, about the passives, like role passives? So
it's kind of funny because I'm thinking about like, the support passive will probably be like, like regeneration, kind of like Mercy has, and I think DPS players are not gonna like that. And then for DPS players, they got like a little speed boost, and support players aren't gonna like that. It'll be interesting to see how everything kind of pans together. I think each role gets like a little buff and like their kind of role. So like obviously supports get to regenerate more, and then DPS get to run around faster, and then tanks, I'm not really sure what they have planned for tanks.
I think it's damage resistance and you feed less ult, like you just give less ult from damage taking.
More sturdy, like more
like sort of, I feel like the tank one makes like the most sense, but they also said all that stuff could change and shift.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool because it'll also change how the meta works a lot. Because one example is I think if the regeneration happens for a lot of supports, I think it's an indirect nerf to hit scan, because hit scan a lot of times you can LOS, but if their damage is kind of like meaningless because you get shot once and you hide, maybe it makes hit scan worse, and it makes heroes like flankers better because if you're playing
you can't
Tracer,
disengage from,
then you can deny like the regeneration completely.
That's true. I mean, Tracer's like one of the best counters to Mercy for that reason. Like you just stay on her. Here's like Diva, same thing. You just stay on the target no matter what they do. that it could offset. Because I think a lot of the pro players saw the 5v5 and were like, oh god, Hitscan's gonna take over because Hitscan already so dominant at the highest level.
I think with such a drastic change, I think it's kind of like expected for there to be kind of like, overreaction.
Yeah.
Like people are like just worried and scared what's gonna happen. But I think it'll work in the end. And I think it'll really breathe like new life into Overwatch. And I think it can be really exciting for like the casual player and the pro player.
But at the end, I think we're all just like super excited to play. I want to play PvP. I want to play PvE. I want to experience it all. I just want Overwatch 2 to come out, man.
I feel like it's gonna come out right before our season, so we're just gonna have to hard grind PvP, and we're not gonna play PvE for like 6 months.
Ah, it'd be so sad. I wanted to come out early enough for me to play the PvE because I actually really like PvE games, especially FPS games. Like I play a lot of Destiny, so I think Overwatch, especially with Blizzard, they made so many insane PvE games. Like I really think it could be really great too.
We're not gonna play it for months.
Yeah, it's actually sad.
Playing 12
Give
hours
us some
a day,
time, Blizzard.
only
Give us some
PvP.
time. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me in the Eyes on the Prize segment discussing Overwatch 2. Shout out to Zenny Gaming for making it possible. We're really excited. Let us know down in the comments what you want to see the most in Overwatch 2, what you think will be different, good, bad, whatever. Let us know. All right, guys. Now it's time for Rapid Fire presented by HEB, where we answer questions from you, the fans. If you want to get your questions in, you can go to the Outlaw Cord. There's a channel just for submitting questions for this segment of the episode. So get your questions in, and we'll be able to answer them on next week's show. So Lacrimosa asks, during the broadcast, Jake showed us that he's been learning Korean. Does anyone on the team speak a language other than English, Korean, or Thai?
So both my parents are Cuban, so our household is kind of like they speak Spanish to me and I speak English back to them, and we kind of teach each other. But I think overall my Spanish like understanding of people speaking to me is like really high, but my actual talking skills is pretty difficult. And I've kind of like dabbled in Korean a little bit. I know like the letters and their sounds and stuff, but I've never like put them together or anything like that. So I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
I took Spanish in high school for 4 years. My dad's side of the family is really Mexican, and whenever we go to my grandma's for Christmas, they speak Spanish a lot. I can understand some things, like I'll understand half a sentence. It's kind of hard because I haven't practiced Spanish in so long, but it's nice to understand things here and there.
Dreamer's the one who's trilingual, right? Who speaks all three, English, Korean, and Thai.
Yeah.
Scrabble Zuko asks, how has Dreamer been adjusting to the team? I mean, that's tough to know, I guess, from our perspective, but it seems like he's been gelling really well. I feel like from like the first day we were practicing with him, he was like calling a lot and, participating a lot in like strategy discussion.
In the beginning, there's always kind of like some kind of like rough patches where like he's trying to just gel with the team and get used to everybody, especially like mid-season where we've all kind of like been here from the start and have like built the synergy together. So he's just trying to like find a way to kind of insert himself. But I think he's done a really good job of that. I think he's definitely a really nice guy, really cool guy, and I think he brings a lot to our team, and I think he's gelling really, really well with us.
Squid Baby asks, who is the biggest spender on the Outlaws? This is a tough one. I don't even know.
It's Raucus.
I feel like it's the ghost of Raucus lives on. And, but I don't know. I think everyone's pretty like frugal. I don't think anybody's.
Yeah, I mean,
we're all just like chilling, playing Overwatch. Like,
I will point out that Juby always like points out Piggy's clothing. Like how like he'll look at Piggy and be like $400 shirt, $500 shorts, $1,000 flip flops. Like he'll just do that. But I mean I don't know personally. But
is it actually that much, or is he just making fun of him?
He's probably just making fun of him. But
I know Piggy does have some drip, so maybe
he does have flexing a little bit.
But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this rapid fire segment presented by HEB. Remember, you can join the Outlaw Cord and get your questions in the channel. We'll answer them next week. All right. Thanks for joining us. All right, as always, thank you to the fans. Thank you, Outlaws Nation. Appreciate especially Zenny and HEB for making this episode possible. This weekend, we are going to be playing the Spitfire on Saturday and the Defiant on Sunday. So make sure to tune into our matches. Check out our social media if you want to see what's coming up and keep up with what's going on with the Outlaws. And as always, peace and love. I'll see you next time.